Oh howdy, physical media, it's pretty cool, right? You can make a Burger King sandwich with it.
People enjoy physical media in all different ways. Music, movies, video games, but I want to focus on the latter. It comes in all different shapes and sizes, small, medium, perfect. Video games have always been a weird media to me, not so much in the way they're consumed as much as in the way they're presented. The way a video game is presented can change the way it's perceived, from the manual to the cover art, and hell, even the way the game looks. On face value, the presentation of a video game may seem like a stupid thing to think about. Heck, most of the time, video game cases are seen as a means to hold and protect the game from scratches. But come on, have you seen the PS3 cases? Sony's always been pretty consistent with their cases up until the PS3. The PS2 was a standard black case, except for European cases, those were blue. Then moving on to the PS1, it's just a standard jewel case with cover art that doubles as a manual.
But the PS3 decided it wanted to be different.
I mean, look at this. It has a case of the Dum Dum. This was the design the PS3 launched with, and out of all three variants, it's my favorite. It definitely fits best with that era of Sony PlayStation. The original model was big and chunky and has the word PlayStation right across the top of it, so this console design fit well with the cases of that time. The case came with the same feel with the PlayStation logo sprawling across the top of the box art, but then in 2009 the PS3 would see a redesign, and with that came new box art. What happened here? PS3? Come on Sony, you're one letter away from the abbreviation bullshit 3.
But at the end of the day, this is totally understandable considering Sony wanted to forget a terrible PS3 launch.
And the 60GB PlayStation 3 for $599 US.
Your ears heard me right. Sony charged $600 for the PS3 at launch. But Sony would come to their senses in 2009 and release the PS3 Slim and cut the price in half to $300. And with the redesign of the PS3 came a case redesign. This makes sense. Sony was attempting to distance themselves from their $600 past, and to do this would require changes. At least for me, when I pick up a case from the pre-2009 era of the PS3, I think, holy shit, they charged $600 for this console. And then after the 2009 era, I look at a case and think, bullshit 3.
But in the end, Sony fixed their mistakes with the PS3 and did their best to distance themselves from early growing pains. But this is a bigger example of how physical media, in this case the cases, can change the perception of a console. But now it's time to be a nitpicky bitch.
For the most part, people hate the greatest hits cases, which is a version of the game that comes with a logo saying, you guessed it, greatest hits. A game that receives this treatment is one that sells a lot of copies, and roughly a year after its release will receive a reprint, usually at a cheaper price with a new logo and sometimes a case change. Such as PlayStation 4 cases being blue and then later red if it meets the requirements for a greatest hits label. Each main company has their version of greatest hits. Microsoft has Platinum Hits and Nintendo has Player's Choice, later switching to Nintendo Selects. But this doesn't really bother me personally because I think it's impossible to avoid imperfections with game cases in general. Even if you have all the first editions of cases and don't worry about greatest hits, not everything is going to be perfect.
But hey, I get it. I think it's awesome to see people's collections looking nice, neat, and unified, with no greatest hits, and everything's in pristine condition. It's just not for me. I just enjoy owning the games and having the ability to put them on a shelf, but that doesn't mean some things aren't weird to me.
Why is this blue? Why is this spine longer compared to other 360 games? But more importantly, why is this blue? In 2014, Sony decided it would be a good idea to change the PS3 logo to be more in line with the PS4 logo.
Sony did this to unify the PS3 with the PS Vita and PS4, considering the fact that the PS3 was still receiving AAA games after its life cycle. It just made sense to bring all three together. Too bad soccer moms around the galaxy confused PS3 games with PS4.
From a business perspective, I understand Sony's thought process. It's the idea that when a customer walks into a store, no matter how far away from the game they are, you see the color blue, you're thinking Sony. But the problem with this is the only thing keeping soccer moms and grandmas from making the mistake between PS3 and 4 is the color of the case.
Sony picked up on this quick and would switch back to the black label after roughly 13 games. I say roughly 13 games because games like Wolfenstein: The New Order, which was planned to have a blue label release, would have a black label release instead. But hey, a blue label could exist. We'll never know. But that's enough Sony talk. What about Microsoft and Nintendo?
For the most part, Nintendo and Microsoft are pretty sane in the case department. Microsoft would change it up with their Platinum Hits line on the original Xbox, which has a white border with cover art centered in the middle. Sometimes this would deviate with the Family Hits variation of the Platinum Hits with games like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Sometimes this variation would be weird, like why didn't Spider-Man make the cut for Family Hits? Both are rated E for everyone, and yes, this is bothering me way more than it should.
He's part man, part spider. Damn it, this is fun for the whole family.
Then with the Xbox 360, the Platinum Hits would continue with the same mentality of the border with the box art centered in the middle. And hey, Cars is a family hit!
You're damn straight it's a family hit.
The biggest difference is the color of the case for both the original Xbox and 360. The color would be changed to silver for all Platinum Hits games, for the most part. Take Kinect Sports for an example. My copy is a Platinum Hits version, but it still comes in a purple case like all Kinect games.
And with the original and Xbox 360, I remember these cases being pretty prevalent, but then the Xbox One came along and it kind of just disappeared.
I mean, it still exists, but it's just printed on the box art with an Xbox logo that says Greatest Hits. From what I've noticed, most of these Greatest Hits games are just repackaged 360 games that are backwards compatible with the Xbox One.
Nintendo's weird too with their Greatest Hits line. It just kind of evacuated itself.
Nintendo started with Player's Choice on the SNES, N64, and ending with the GameCube. This same idea would continue on Wii and Wii U, but rebranded to Nintendo Selects.
For the most part, I've hit all the main points I'd like to discuss about physical games, minus reversible art covers. That is pretty cool. What the hell? No, it can't be.